So the question becomes, should you be allowed to live?
Hi everyone, and welcome to Project 31 for 2023, where I watch 31 horror films in the 31 days of October, and I'll give you my review for each and every single one of them. Today, October 16th, I will review the movie Village of the Damned.
We were to be together.
How do you know that?
The 1995 Village of the Damned is a remake of the 1960s British movie of the same name, and it is also an adaptation of a sci-fi novel called The Midwich Cuckoos by John Wyndham. The movie stars Christopher Reeve, Kirstie Alley, and Mark Hamill. This is Reeve's last film before his famous horse accident that left him paralyzed. The movie tells the story of a quiet little town called Midwich, out in the middle of nowhere, as a dark cloud floats above it one day. The town is getting ready for a town's fair of sorts, as suddenly everyone and everything just drops unconscious. Scientists and police flock to the area to test this weird phenomenon and come up with absolutely nothing. As the 6-hour mark hits, suddenly everyone and everything just wakes up. As the weeks roll by, everyone in the town discovers that all the women who are viable just got pregnant.
I wanted to know first, so I used a home pregnancy kit.
It is weird and concerning to many due to the fact that some of the couples could not conceive, and some of the couples didn't even have sex, which leads to jealousy and suspicion. Not only that, all the women in town go into labor the same night. Most of the babies were born regular children, except for a few that were born albino, and start to develop this weird psychic powers. As the truth about their nature and who they actually are become apparent to the local doctor and the scientist who was involved in the first day, things become a lot more dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have this movie on my list when I started this Project 31 thing. And both times I've actually watched this movie, I watched it with my wife because she actually likes this movie. She saw it as a teenager and it completely freaked her out. This time around, we actually watched it with our kids, and let me tell you this, they were not impressed and they were definitely not scared. The movie is about 90 minutes, which is a good thing because it is plodding a lot and it takes a lot of time to actually get going. About an hour into it and it is still very, very slow. It seems like the adaptation to a more modern setting didn't really happen. It feels like a 60s horror movie that is modernly shot, but it still has that 60s pace to it. It is not bad per se, but it feels like a little bit out of sync somehow.
We are all creatures of the life force. Now it has set us at one another to see who will survive.
The only two people that are playing sort of out of character is Mark Hamill, who plays a priest. Well, maybe not out of character because he played a Jedi and it's kind of a priest. And of course, Christopher Reeve, who plays a doctor that wants to help the town and help the children, and ultimately the good doctor sacrifices himself for the greater good, so he's kind of a Superman. Never mind, those two roles are perfectly cast. Joking aside, the only really good acting in this movie is done by Christopher Reeve. He is the only one who actually shows believable emotions. It is a shame that he wasn't cast in more meaty roles throughout his short career, but that's just the Superman curse for you. I cannot recommend this movie for the Halloween season. It is not scary, it is not fun, and it is not interesting. With the way the action bits actually kind of went, it almost seems like they were trying to make a PG-13 horror movie. The only gory parts are the cops shooting each other at one point, and of course one church lady who gets burned alive, and she's not even screaming. Overall, a massive disappointment to what I remembered when I watched this the first time, and a massive disappointment overall. I thank you for watching. If you're watching this review and this is not the Halloween season, please be sure to check out my other movie reviews that I've done in the past, or our Saturday show, the Rue McCoy Podcast, where we dive much deeper into these amazing movies.